Here we have a problem in geometry. That is, we have a problem on angle measures. Okay, let's go to the question. Lines M and N are parallel. Find the value of angle X. Okay, here, consider the angle measure over here. This is the angle on the straight line. So we know that the angle on the straight line always measures 180 degree. So the measure of the angle over here is 180 degree. But in this straight angle, this particular part is 35 and this is right angle, that means 90 degree. And now we have to find the angle measure over here, this particular part of the straight angle. Okay, to find the angle measure over here, what I need to do is I have to add this 90 and 35. It has to be subtracted from the total angle 180. Okay, let me do it. So 180 negative 90 positive 35. Okay, so 180 negative, when I add 90 positive 35, it will become 125. So when I subtract 125 from 180, I'm getting 55. So the angle measure over here is 55 degree. Okay, now we can add and check. So the three angles 55, 90 and 35 must add up to 180. So when I add 55, 90 and 35, I'm getting 180. So I'm getting an angle on the straight line. Okay, so also the question says lines M and N are parallel. So since the lines M and N are parallel, so this is a transversal. So whenever two parallel lines intersected by another line, it's called transversal, and the alternate interior angles must be congruent. So I mean this angle and this angle. I mean this angle, this angle. So both angles are alternate interior angles and they must be congruent. That means they must be equal in measure. Since the angle measure over here is 55 degree and the angle measure over here must also be 55, because these two angles are alternate interior angles and they must be congruent when two parallel lines intersected by a transversal. Okay, now this is a four-sided polygon, that is quadrilateral. So in a quadrilateral, already we know that the sum of the four interior angles is equal to 360 degree. That is, if I add the four angle measures over here, that is 90 degree, 55 degree, x degree and 110 degree. So these four angles must add up to 360 degree, because four interior angles of a quadrilateral must add up to 360. Okay, let me add x positive, 110 positive, 55 positive, 90 equals to 360. So now let's add these angle measures. When I add 110, 55, 90, I'm getting 255 equals to 360. So our aim is to solve for x. So I have subtract 255 from both sides. So when I subtract 255 from both sides, this is positive 255, negative 255 will cancel out. I get x equals to, when I subtract 255 from 360, I'm getting 105. So the angle measure x equals to 105 degree.